What sort of relationship do you have with your child? You strive for a good relationship. But one head teacher has issued a warning, and that warning is...
that mums and dads who try to be their children's best friend are doing them more harm than good, apparently.
You are. Dr. Martin Stephen, he says clear boundaries are crucial, absolutely crucial, and that buddying up with parents will hold children back in later life. Now, beside him is mum of 7, Gemma Rawnsley. Hello, Gemma.
Your hands full.
Gemma says giving children freedom gives them a chance to learn from their own mistakes. When we say freedom, Gemma, how much freedom are we talking about? Doctor, hold on to your seat. Fasten your seatbelt here till we get this.
We don't have bedtimes, so we let them decide when they feel tired, when they want to go to bed.
What's the age range?
So there's a 22-month-old is the youngest, and then up to Sky's about to go 14.
So you just say whatever you want,
Is that not
whatever
chaos?
time you want.
No, honestly,
Anarchy?
no. It's. Do you know? I can say this, and whether people choose to believe me or not, you know, is up to them. But we have the perfect family. It is perfect. We are so happy. We love each other so much. They are the best behaved kids you could ever wish to meet, and it's because we have such a loving relationship with each other, and because we don't have these strict boundaries.
Yes.
There's different types of parenting. You've got authoritarian parenting, which is what you would be thinking would be the ideal, possibly.
And what she's saying, Doctor, I suppose, is because there's an absence of rules, no one can break them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. And firstly, congratulations to Gemma on bringing up 7 children. Extraordinary. But I think that there's a real danger of confusing love and friendship. We all give totally unconditional love to our children. That is what it's about, parenting. But that doesn't mean to say you can't give them guidelines and directions. And in my experience, children love the security of knowing what's demanded of them. And the big question is, how do you learn? How do you learn to the child? Now, for instance, I wouldn't take my 7-year-old and throw him into a swimming pool and say, actually learn to swim. I'd give him armbands. And to me, these rules and these regulations are the equivalent of armbands. And I think the other danger is we see these rules and these regulations, you know, go to bed at a time, don't use the screen all evening. We see them kind of a jail bar, but they're not bars in a jail. They're actually a security fence.
But not really.
They're a safe zone.
You're telling your child when to go to bed, but they're kind of going, but I'm not tired.
But
they're not they're not self-managing.
All my children have told me they're not tired when their eyes are half closing.
isn't there a point there that you're sort of saying, actually, before they get to a certain age, you have to make those decisions for them because they don't have the capability to make that.
Yeah.
So is that a point that you take on board? You can't. Do you literally let your children make their minds up right from the beginning as to what they do?
The 22-month-old can't sort of make up his own mind. He just gets tired when he gets tired. Well, it's the same. He gets tired when he gets tired, so I put him to bed. But I've always spoken to my children quite matter of fact and kind of not babied them and always had conversations with them. What we have a lot in our family is a lot of conversation. Like, literally, I will sit there. Sky had an issue the other day she wanted to talk about. We sat there for 2 hours. And I will give her that time. She knows how important she is. But they're not, so Sky will come to me and go, I'm off to bed now, Mum, and just give me a kiss. Finley will go, I'm just off to bed now, and he'll go read.
Gemma, let me ask you a number of things there. Do they say, I want to eat now, Mum, I don't want to eat now?
No, we have set meal times because it would be impractical.
OK, but let me ask you this, right? I understand this blanket of love that you threw over your children and whatever, but my worry would be when they have to interact with the rest of the world, where there are rules and there are lineations.
We do have rules, OK, so... But it's as they crop up, we have a conversation about it. It's not like these are a list of rules, so adhere to them.
In real life, people don't have time to have a conversation. They'll just say...
maybe people need to be having more conversations with each other, because if you're saying to a child, do this, but you're not explaining why to them, how are they going to grow up to be well-adjusted adults? You've got to have that conversational thing where they're learning how to, they're developing their own moral guidelines, they're gaining their own perspective on the world.
But don't they need to model it or something? I mean, you've clearly got absolutely brilliant children, and congratulations, but most of the children I know, if they were let to stay up all night to watch a DVD, wouldn't learn actually to go to bed early the next morning. They'd learn that it's all right to stay up all night to watch a DVD.
They wouldn't, because they'd be so tired. Oh, I'll give you an example of this, actually. So Phoenix said to me one time, he went, I'd love to stay up all night playing on my Xbox. He wasn't saying it like if I'd said no, he wasn't even asking, he just sort of said it. I went, do it then. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, just do it. He stayed up all night. The next day, he said he felt sick, grumpy. He hated it, and he said, "I'm never doing that again. That was awful."
I mean, do you think from that point of view, obviously it has worked for Gemma and her family, but as you say, perhaps that's dependent on the children, is it? Not everyone will be able to replicate that model.
I think the world is too full of people who tell people how to bring up their children because it's an instinctive thing and we do it our own way. What I'm saying is that I think children actually like the boundaries, need the boundaries, and of course one of the great joys of childhood is complaining about those boundaries.
We have to have rules on this
Do we
programme.
want to take away from our children moaning about their parents?
We are out of time.
We put out a